Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib Open Mic. I just posted the link again on the right hand side. Feel free to join us, discuss VXP weekend, upcoming raid cycle, whatever else that you think might pop up. And I'll introduce everybody from left to right. Magic Mike,
Howdy doody.
Lady Cat, hello. Um, Two Doors,
Hi. Cannot be arsed.
Ben,
Hello, everyone.
and Aussie.
Good morning.
And this is Hefe. So, Lady Cat, you want to? We have a couple slides, just real quick, and then we can get on to what everybody wants to talk about.
Okay, yeah, I thought I was presenting. Hold on just a moment.
Okay. There was a little surprise that was added since the Wednesday show. The mini leader. Well, no, we'll do that. We're doing that second.
It's not working.
No, you needed a screen share from Hangouts.
I did. Let's try it again.
Okay.
Let me cancel out and do it again because I'm hitting the right buttons, I swear. It's not letting me.
All right.
Oh.
All righty.
Cancel button. There's screen share.
All righty. Well, the first thing that we've had is Battle Pirates next week was posted not too long ago. The big things is we're going to see Bounty 22 coming next week on Wednesday. We get to there's the inventory management that was promised this past week is going to show up with this. I also expect that we're going to see a change in rules. It's not in here, but a change in rules associated with the interceptors as far as being able to be used as guards / interceptors be able to hit guards. We were promised this prior to Bounty. And any luck with the... and then also on Friday, we're going to get a June CM diary, which will... we could figure out what Chris was doing while he's been on vacation this week, I guess. So, Lady Cut, no luck with the screen sharing?
Nope.
She broke it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because it's not even showing that you're...
Yeah, I refreshed and came back and...
The button doesn't do anything?
Oh, wait a minute. Now it might. There we go.
There we go.
It had to wake up.
Yeah, okay. Alrighty, I'm going to put you on present. And,
Okay, now we're there.
okay. All right, this is what I pretty much just discussed. One more click, because this was something that we should be looking out for this next week. This was a comment by Corbin. Somebody asked him, is there any folded ferrite armor on the FM to be released? Whatever that means. Now, we've seen the armors that have come out, the hydrofoil plating and the level 7 concussive armor. Aussie, you're making extra noises.
Oh, sorry.
And I'm not sure what you're up to, but probably not fit for no, but we haven't seen the armor. We haven't seen a 0 repair armor associated with the silverfish, which I think a lot of people expected, and we talked a little bit about that last week. So I don't know. I'm just let you guys interpret this back and forth between Vortex and Corbin. He says no details on that yet, Vortex. I would keep an eye on announcements and briefings next week.
So maybe that's a maybe.
Aussie, I'm going to mute you. You can unmute yourself at any point. Just
You're
It
breathing
sounded,
hard.
it sounded-
You're breathing heavy, Austin.
I really thought he was on the toilet. So it just sounded a little off. So I'll let you guys interpret this in any way that you want to, but this is some part of a back and forth between it. So, any thoughts on this? Okay, well, let's move on to the next one, and then we can just go open. There's the mini tournament. Um, there appears to be very little participation at this point. Maybe that will change throughout the evening. But to get the participation tournament or participation prize of a 12-hour generic, this is a shipwreck thing. You need to hit a shipwreck and hold it enough for a single drip. So be there at a 5-minute mark, and you'll get a 12-hour one. Right now, I think if you got to that point, you might be in the top 1,000 if you just do it once, but I'm sure that will change. So that would give you 2 days of tokens. I'm not sure if these are all 1 days or what they are. So, but yeah, if you just hit one and fail, you're not going to get any 12-hour tokens. So, throwing that out there.
Keep 'em.
Okay. And the next one, which will kick off the VXP discussion, as we know, same old. Oh, this has been changed. It's not the 98 target they promised us, but it's the 100 target. And from what they've been saying in Discord and what they sort of tried to say in the forums, and other people have seen it, it's just not me, that the 100 target will be around until Monday, and the full extent of the
Yep.
XP weekend.
I asked and was given the answer that it would.
Mm-hmm.
So take that as you will.
Yes, exactly. And a couple more clicks. Okay, we talked about this, and then this is the last part, the next one, and then we can, because we discussed that. Okay, these are my silverfish inside of a 100 target. We see the aura rings, which are not. I have all elusive CICs, which have a range of 130. What we're seeing is the stacking bonuses associated with the silverfish themselves, which have a range around, I think, of 50, 45, or 50. And then the outer rings are the 93 range of my depth charges. It's missing a couple of details that I hopefully get included. Corbin said he is passing these things up, but these might have been removed for design reasons. One is the 97 to 103 range of the UAV. It's not here. Also, the 130 range of our the elusive CIC that kills the or damages the incoming smart torpedoes. So neither one of those you're seeing at this point. And when I first looked at it, I was a little bit confused on exactly what I was seeing here, because half of the information that we would expect is missing. Thoughts?
I died so quick I couldn't really tell anything anyway. I've got anywhere from 1 to 4 guns on my ships, no engine, nothing. I mean, you can't do a whole heck of a lot.
Yep,
that
I'm
way.
in the same boat. I didn't even notice the rings were missing, to be honest.
What bothered me was the 10-hour repair.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not even halfway done building my fleet. They have armor that's going to add time. So half repair even will probably, it's going to be, not pleasant. So I wasn't too happy.
Well, yeah, if with the current armor that we've been given, as we discussed on Friday, the hydrofoil plating 2 adds 22 and a half minutes to the ship, 4 per ship, potential of 5 ships in the fleet, takes the repair time, the normal repair time of that fleet, to 22 and a half hours.
Mhm.
So So, what we talked about before, and I don't know what Corbin was talking about. Are we getting another armor some point soon? I hope so, but I'm not certain that we are. So, I don't know. Anybody else? VXP actually does pay out pretty well. I've tried different strategies. I haven't found a great strategy as far as the VXP targets, besides making sure, because I don't have an engine on mine. I just have 2 rockets on all of them and nothing else. Well, and the elusive CIC to knock down the torpedoes as they're incoming, so I'm just not stuck there. And the 4 of them does a great job of killing them. They get knocked down well before they get into your range, at least in this target. So, and you got what was with a triple salty, 4 of them doing their offensive and defensive, taking damage and putting out damage. It was like it was around a little over 34,000 per ship of VXP, which gets you, I think, 54, 57 range as far as your ranking on each ship. And it will take 3 trips like this with your silver salties in order to get them skulled. It will take 4 with your Praetorian flagship. So
I have 4 silverfish. I went in. I attacked things. I died. I couldn't really figure out what was going on. There were ships with corrosive symbols and all that sort of thing, but I couldn't really understand what was going on. I had my bat ray flag in, and that was when I noticed that it had its lovely little compass E aura marker, but the other ones didn't. And beyond that, I'm glad you can roll silver salties. I can't seem to roll them. So Kixeye needs to maybe do a bit of tweaking on their surprise mechanics.
yeah. Yeah, and we haven't got an explanation on the mechanics of this target. Again, because of the long repair time, I've only been able to really honestly hit 1. But again, with 2 depth charges and no engines and no specials, really not a lot I can tease out of this besides looking at some of the other aspects of it. As far as like, is it the deadly CIC that surfaces the subs?
Yeah.
Yeah. How useful that is going to be, because I don't have enough experience as far as the depth charge does. We talked a little bit about this on Wednesday. The depth charge does equal submerged and surface damage, but we don't know if they get plus 90% resistances when they go underwater. I've been intentionally trying to aim at the ghost crawler seems to surface right away. So I'm not really sure what that mechanic is, and maybe we'll get some explanation in the future as far as how that all works out.
Are you talking about the silverfish Bama?
Yeah, you don't. You don't have to do any upgrades to put a CIC on the silverfish.
They're free, and it takes 1 second.
Yeah.
To go back and forth.
When did they change that? I thought you had to upgrade it to level 2 or some shit to use the CIC. No.
Not
There's
for
this one.
silverfish.
Not for this ship.
Okay, cool. Well, I don't know. I just started. I have 4 built, and I just started ranking them. I'm just getting some information now. All right, cool.
Yeah. It was it was the Saturn that you were required to get to U2, right? In order to.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. The Saturn. You're right.
Yeah, this one doesn't have that requirement. No, you don't have to do any of it. I don't even own any upgrade kits, and I have CICs in all of mine. And like Lady Cat explained, it's only 1 second per. So
Nice. I like that. I didn't even know that. I have to go back and add that to all of them real quick after they repair. Thanks.
yeah, and if you haven't, you gotta have the empty shipyard, but otherwise it's just 1 second each.
Yeah, I haven't upgraded any of mine. I've got CIC. Not only do I have CICs on them, I swapped on one after I faced good advice. So, 1 second.
Okay. How's everybody else doing? Haven't heard from all at all, Jeff.
Yeah, busy doing the trip to Canada and all that stuff, and just got back.
Okay. And you weren't going to the Raptor parade?
No, I just missed it. Luckily, I
Okay.
was less than a mile or few miles from it, and that turned into a disaster.
Yeah, I heard a couple people got shot. Those Canadians are feisty.
They weren't when I was up there. I guess it's turning American on us.
Especially, you're not supposed to have guns there, are you?
Oh, they got guns all over the place.
Guns. Yeah, we just usually shoot animals with them instead of people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't have grocery stores.
I know you can't cross the border with one.
Yeah, they don't have grocery stores. You just go out and shoot caribou.
There
From
you
from what I heard.
go. And have Tim Hortons donuts along with.
Yeah. Well, it's something. That's something.
You have to apologize.
No, I'm sorry.
before
It's
and after
donuts.
you shoot.
Donuts.
Go watch Super Troopers 2. It's all about Canada. It's fucking goofy, but it's funny.
Yeah, that's really where you should get all your information about Canada. I'm sorry.
now-
you say
I have
right.
to watch it so I understand why everybody says weird things about Canada now.
or what's the the Bob and Doug McKenzie movie?
Oh, that's the hockey one, like a long time ago or something.
Yeah. I just
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember. It's
Looking
old.
at the Great White North or something.
well, Great White North was their show that they had on. Was it Second City TV or SNL? But
SNL, I think.
Yeah, but they had
Oh,
on.
actually, I
there was
think
a
you're right.
movie.
The first one.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll be back.
Okay.
In Canada, you have to apologize before and after you shoot someone.
Yeah.
It is funny though. I mean, I apologize for somebody stepping on my toe while I was there. I was like, oh wow, I switched to being Canadian real quick.
So, Jeff, you tried the VXP weekend yet, or are you still been
Yeah.
to?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was really generous on VXP points this time around, which is nice.
For the first hit, it was great. It was like over 50, so that's nice. I got a repair of 12 and a half hours because I have one Saturn in there, 4 other silvers. But, yeah, 50 to 57 because they're not all built the same. But yeah, I'm happy with that first hit. Even if I get 2 hits, who gives a shit? You know, after that, you're good.
The strange part is extending it to Monday means, I mean, everybody's going to be skulled. So, like, even on free repair. So they didn't do themselves any favors here. It's almost like they've
I don't
talked
think
about
it's. Well, it's not Kicks anymore. Kicks, I don't think they have that fucking strong hold against us anymore. Now the new company's probably like, just hook these motherfuckers up. We want to keep them.
You say that, and then they just give us the Shipwreck mini tournament. I think that's their. I think actually, so what they're trying to do, what they might be trying to do by making this VXP weekend so cheap, is they're trying to compare as best they can to how much do these mini Shipwreck tournaments make versus how much does VXP weekend normally make it. Because doing both is just, I feel like it's unnecessarily prohibitive, and a lot of people would choose VXP weekend over the Shipwrecks. That's probably one of the reasons they made Shipwrecks so easy to repair as well. Now they can spring it whenever, and people can just be, oh, this is 2 coins to repair this full fleet from dead? Yeah, I'll run that.
Yeah, you're probably right. I need to actually know about this Shipwreck shit. I know nothing about it. So when we get a chance, you guys got to fill me on, like, how the fuck do you do it?
Well,
There's forum posts somewhere probably.
this isn't the best time to do shipwrecks. I mean, you can, but actually, maybe it is because maybe you won't get hit as much if not many people are participating. But there's no real prizes. You're just trying to get leaderboard points for prizes. So it's all based on your rank.
There's a 12-hour ship build token if you just like do shit.
And
And
they
then
do
not.
have Corsairs for 10,000 points each as a bonus.
Yeah.
So unless they add any prizes. But I mean, a lot of people don't want a coin if there's no reward. And a chance to get on the leaderboard isn't enough for a lot of people to put much effort into it. till maybe they wait and see how the leaderboards go. You know, there's just no reason to shipwreck this weekend for most.
It's too weird anyway. I mean, that whole hit something, hold on to it, but you basically want to hit somebody in the last 30 seconds, otherwise somebody else will kick you off after you've been wounded.
Well, yeah. That's my point. It's like I don't know like what's the mechanics behind the actual shipwreck. I understand there's no prizes and not many people are gonna do it and blah blah blah, whatever. But like what's the point of the thing? Like can you only use interceptors? Can you use breachers? Like what the fuck do you attack it with? How do you keep it? How long do you have to hold it to even get points? And how many points do you get?
You can attack it with conqueror halls, not recommended. Use your interceptors.
Well, if you have them, what if you don't have them? How do you get them? You know what I mean? I got the one free one. I built that, but that's all I have.
That's one way to
what a
start.
lot of people have.
But can you get points with that? Because I tried a couple and I get fucking smoked. I don't know what I'm doing.
You can, if nobody attacks you, you can get points with one ship.
Well, how do you not die in the target before you kill the target?
You should be able to kill the target with one ship.
All right, well, I haven't really tried. That's my whole point. That's why I'm trying to figure all this out.
You can kill the target with one ship. Here's the problem. Once you're killing it, then it's yours. It's sort of, remember the mine.
Until that timer runs out, right?
Until the timer runs out, but you can be attacked. And if they kill you, then you lost the shipwreck.
All right, so you kind of need like some protectors on the outside if you work in your good sector. Yeah, if you're in a good sector, you need someone to watch you.
You need to be paying attention and attack anybody that comes within sight.
Right. But now, how many points do you get for one kill? Is it varied or is it all the same?
If you do info, you just have to do an info on the target, and it'll tell you.
Oh, okay. So there's a stat breakdown. I got you.
Yeah, and every shipwreck event or anytime you've had them up, they've had different values and different things in them. Sometimes we had VXP tokens and some upgrade tokens.
Oh wow.
One of them. So yeah, but not this weekend. So far, it's only.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, but I mean, I could get 2 more of those courses if I could figure out how to get some points. So that would actually work. Yes. But I just needed to get some information on like how to even approach the damn thing.
It'll help if you only have one ship. It'll help if you people.
Yeah, get some protectors
or your alley. Anybody that's willing to help you.
Nice.
But, if they'll help you, I mean, that's putting them at risk too because their ships will get.
Well, right, I understand all that, but that's obvious. But like, what is the path? Like, if I wanted to get those courses, how many targets maybe would I have to hit? Like 1 or 2, or is it like 10?
3. Well, it depends. It depends because it has different drip amounts. It's like the Golden Nexus. You know how? How it drips.
Right.
We call it a drip. So
I got what you're saying. Yeah,
every 5 minutes, and you'll see a timer on the targets go out.
Yeah, I saw that.
So if you're there when that timer runs out, you get whatever drip for that moment.
Okay.
So if the target lasts 15 minutes, and you got 3 5-minute windows where you get a drip.
Right. Oh, okay. Wow.
So, and as far for the participation prize, you just need to get a drip one time.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was kind of after this weekend. Yeah, that's what I was kind of after this weekend, just to give it a shot. But I just don't know how to approach it.
Now, the Corsair bonus is 10,000 points to buy as a prize. And your drips will range for the P1 targets, I think, anywhere from 1 to 3,000, maybe 4,000.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I'm not sure. There's a P2 target, which is a little bigger. So you've got more people battling for those.
Yeah, but this probably takes more damage, I would imagine, as well, right?
No.
Oh, it's the same target. It's just a stronger, just more points.
It's going to make someone want to come fight you.
I got you. Because the drips are larger. I got it.
Right. Now, it's so cheap to repair.
Oh, yeah. I saw that 20 minutes for like one dead ship. I was like, wow, that's nice.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for one ship. But when you have 3, it's, 3 coin, sometimes 2.
Yeah.
If you want to play fleet versus fleet, it's fun.
No,
the interceptors. The interceptors.
Maybe try to get some more.
They're designed for fleet versus fleet. You can use conquerors in there, but the interceptors can kick most of the conquerors' ass.
Yeah, well, yeah, the damage is through
There's
the
some
roof.
there's some people that might have found a way around that, but for the most part, yeah, you need the interceptors, and you'll need 3, and you'll need to be a good driver.
Right. Oh, I understand that. I just only have 1 because they gave it to me, and I need more. So I just was wondering how. Thank you.
Right. Yeah, taking the target, Bama, that's not enough. You have to be there when that timer runs down from that 5-minute mark and get that drip. So if you don't own it at that moment, you're not going to get any points. So just capturing the target will get you nothing. You have to be there at the 5-minute mark. And that's the problem that people are having, is that everyone waits. A lot of people wait until the last 30 seconds before that target is about to drip, and that's when they attack you. So if you don't win that battle, you're going to lose the drip. So that's a risk. And then others will attack you right away. So you just don't know what's going to happen. Gotta explain it.
All you got to do is capture one shipwreck to get the 12-hour repair.
You need earn points.
No, you guys probably have to get at least one point to be qualified. They have to know that you've got something, or otherwise you get nothing.
Right.
Yeah, that's the way it works. You need to get the minimum, which is 1,000 points, on the P1 targets for just the intermittent 5-minute trip or whatever we want to call it.
In the briefing for it, the last line just says, "Captains who capture even one shipwreck will be rewarded."
And they're not really good with the wording here, because if you read what they wrote about the VXP weekend, I still have no idea until we got clarification in Discord that the 100 target is lasting till Monday. They wrote, we talk about the big time increases in VXP, and we talk about that the unidentified raider fleets are going to be out till Monday, which usually means the lower level ones. They're not good at communicating. Even when Chris is here, they're not good at communicating.
I went on Discord to specifically and ask the question because it wasn't clear. And yeah, the answer was you have to be there for one of those strips.
Okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I understand. It's not in the briefing. It's not explained well. But we went to Discord and asked. Sadly, that's what we have to do sometimes. Because the briefings aren't very specific. And we did ask for them to update that to make it specific, but it never happened.
Yeah.
So I was just lucky I was on when that briefing came out, and Golden Doodle was on, and other Kicks people were on, and they were there for me to ask the questions. But most of the time I missed the information in Discord too.
Yeah, so if you want to at least get your 1,000 points, look around through the locator, and if you see Lady Cat in one of the targets, you're all set.
Leave me alone.
I will hit her fleet in a heartbeat.
I know you will. But I will win this time. You won last time. I'm getting better. I am getting better.
Drive like us. Remember, I'm in Detroit, so I know how to drive like I stole it.
Then crash it like you stole it, though.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble turning those ships and keeping the fairly narrow gun ranges pointed in the right place because I keep on swinging past it. Like when I'm spinning around to try and line up, I'm shooting and then swinging back and overshooting back and forth.
I do that.
Yeah, the strike frigate.
The what?
Is that with the strike frigate? The frigate? Yeah.
I compared it to learning how to drive on a manual and driving a manual, an old car all your life, and then all of a sudden get power steering that you can turn with a little finger. So it's so easy to oversteer and then overcorrect. That's what it's like. It's crazy.
Okay.
Because there's a turn improving one. I want the turn slowing one.
Exactly. Corsairs turn slower, but you got to watch it because the frigates have longer reach. So, and it's hard to drive 3 ships at one time. Yeah, Huddick's using a macro. I'm just fumbling around on my arrow keys.
But the fundamental flaw in my mind is like you take the target, but now you're wounded. Next guy, if he has the same fleet, is fresh and is going to win most of the time, unless he's a lot worse driver. So
you got a coin.
yeah, that's the integral flaw in. Well, I guess not a flaw from Kicksai's perspective, but
right. But at least it's cheap.
Yeah.
But then you have to question how many times you're going to repair. Like I did my first one tonight when I got home from work, and somebody hit me right away. And so I repaired, and then he hit me again. So I killed him. I kept my target. But on the third one, I'm like, if he hits me this time, I'm just going to let go because it's not worth it. Fortunately, he went away, and then I had a couple bodyguards come and help.
That's why I think the only practical time to hit those targets is in the last segment at the last minute, because then you get the highest payout and there isn't enough time to hit you a second time. So
right, but you have to be able to win.
Right, but you only have to win one time. You don't have to coin 2 times to defend the target then, but you only get the last payout.
True, but I'd still rather be the one holding the target. I think it's easier to keep the target once you've captured it than it is to take the target, but that's just my opinion. Maybe it's a mental thing.
Yeah, and that's something. Has anybody upgraded? It's the tactical lab. Which is the lab that
Retro Lab for
Retro
the PvP.
Yeah, have you done that?
I've done it one time. It knocked about 10 minutes off my interceptor fleet repair.
So,
okay, so now you're down to, because before 2 coins, yeah, because it used to be 2 coins in 2 minutes, right?
3 coins in 2 minutes.
No, but well, it was 2 coins, and then you still had 2 minutes left over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now, if you do that, it will save you a
coin.
Yeah, it'll save you a coin each time if you're into that.
If you're repairing at each battle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then you're giving up time.
Well, from completely dead, so it's
from completely dead. But then you're giving up time on getting your specials built faster, or your guns built faster, your refit times, because you're building something else instead of just like we all did the one to get the armors, because armors took so long to build, and then they lightened the load on the armors, reduced the time, and now we're doing the specials, so the specials are easier to fit, or faster. Yeah, there's coin wherever you look. It's a matter of finding a value for your coin and a balance.
Yeah, it's sort of turned into that to a certain extent, as far as which is sort of whatever. I mean, it's everything's for sale at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then we got surprise mechanics.
We'll see.
Sure why. For some reason, one target forks. I don't. Well, he misspelled points, but I'm not sure why it came up as something I needed to review. Like it had bad words in it. Jerry's last post, unless points POIN. Well, I don't know. Unless that means something bad in another language. I was just surprised by that. Jordy's last comment, I had to allow it to be posted. It got flagged, and I was like, I'm still looking at it. Can anybody see the bad word in there? I don't know French. I'm assuming that's, I don't know.
Jordy's English.
No, but he misspelled points, and I'm wondering if that's a bad word in some other language. Points. So, who knows? I'm sorry. Took us off track there. Should we go a little bit back to VXP weekend? we have to hit three for the silverfish and four for the petroleum flag. You can't. I tried. You can't even bring your interceptors in there to do any sort of prep work or whatnot. But the other thing I noticed, if you feel, even though you only need 3 hits, if you feel like you put a triple salty on and I don't want to coin it back, you can put put like 1,000,000 points, like a minute or so on each one. You can go hit the target again, and get about 5,000 points for 4 ships. And but the way you need to have the elusive CIC on there, and then you need to sort of go hide in the corner, hide down to the bottom in one of those sort of cavern type areas, and then you can pop out, and you'll get 1,000 1.2K per ship doing that. If you don't feel like you want to waste your crew, so throwing that out there, but I'm not really sure it helps, just because of the how these things add up, that you just need 3. So those extra points, if you're able to get an extra 10K, I'm not sure it helps, but it's there. With the elusive CIC, you can shoot down all the torpedoes and get some offensive points associated with it. Not a ton, because you need to do a lot of damage, because of the 45 million or some ridiculous amount of armor these things have. So just throwing that out there.
Well, I'm just glad I've got till Monday.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good news, actually.
Yeah.
What do you mean
Just
Monday?
what would
Isn't
your-
it like only Saturday and then the 100s are gone?
No.
No.
It's at the top of the game.
Yeah, but I never read some of that because sometimes I don't know where they're going with it. They say the 100s are going to be there, but then they also throw in those little sidebars as like they'll be there till Saturday night.
They have assured us on Discord that they will be there till Monday.
It'd be Ticket Central if not.
Yep.
After what they said, right?
Yep.
But to support what Hefe was saying, I put like $1 million, I think 100,000 health on each one of
A
nine.
million.
Was it 1 million? Okay, thank you.
Oh, because 100,000 wouldn't even allow you.
You're right. I still
tax
screwing
it.
around with the zeros, but nonetheless, I did just that, and I got 5,000 VXP. I think just with that.
Yeah, you had
much on each
5
one.
ships too.
Yeah, I did have 5 ships.
And you sat underneath the mortars, which didn't help.
Well, yeah, but
It's not helpful. Not helpful.
I had this instruction to just go at the bottom and park.
Well,
and I tried that,
and then charge them. Yeah.
So, I missed that part. So
Okay.
I'll have that. I got that now for this next time.
But what I'm saying is, I'm not even sure how squeezing out maybe another 5, 10, maybe 15 out of that fleet actually helps.
Yeah.
I'm not certain
what
it does.
And that's with a triple salty. So if
Yeah.
if you're doing it without the salty, I mean, obviously it's a third of that, right?
Yeah.
With my incredible math skills, I can figure that one out. But I have 15 minutes. I can go try it.
Okay. Disappointingly, we did not get an upgrade or update from Golden Doodle as far as what to expect in the upcoming raid cycle. I was really hoping we would see that so people could prioritize what their build's going to be, because as we talked about on Wednesday, there's going to be skirmish targets that aren't the top targets. There's going to be targets that are meant for bat rays and razor tails, at least from what we've heard.
And Saturns.
Yes, and Saturns and Nemesis and probably Proto Apollos and whatnot. And it's sort of difficult at this point to figure out how you should prioritize your builds, because until he told me that, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to work to get my silverfish done by this, somewhat done by the second raid. But now, if Bat Rays can do it, maybe an incomplete fleet of silverfish can get some things done. So, yeah, I was hoping for an update. He said he would provide one, but we haven't seen it yet. So,
Well, something I keep asking about for the raid is like last raid, if you used your Saturn through Nemis on the 60s and lower, you only got half the points from the target. Are they still going to do that this cycle, or
if you did what, you only got half the points?
To hit lower targets.
if you hit the lower target?
Yeah. I don't know.
I should hope not.
I don't see how that would work out in any way. The hit down penalty.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, we're all going to be watching this next change in cycles and stuff very carefully. It sounds messy.
Yeah, if there's a hit down penalty, so that we are punished for not having our silverfish done, then I think the players will revolt.
well,
But when did we not have a hit down penalty?
When we
there's always
didn't have a 2-raid cycle where we could use 5 different ships.
But
so this is kind of a new.
This is brand new.
This is a new equation.
Yep.
But I think this is my conjecture. They're going to let the Saturns hit the next set down without a hit down penalty. They're just going to run the top targets for 2 raids only.
I don't trust them.
Yeah, but if they have the hit down penalty,
they won't do that with the Saturns on the what we used to call the A sets.
Oh, yeah, but it's not going to be a hit down penalty, because that part wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. If you have okay, we have skirmish cycle, we have skirmish targets, and we have assault targets. If you hit the assault targets with the assault fleet, you're going to get a hit down penalty, even if it's the highest level. That wouldn't make any sense. They did do that one point for and then until they realized what they did, where I forget exactly what it was, but if you hit, they had a hit down penalty for the A sets, and I was like, they did that one raid, I think, for a day, and then they realized that wasn't cool to be.
Oh, I remember that.
I remember.
all right,
Yeah.
like the assault cycle that we just got done with. If I hit a 63 with my Saturns, I got 7,500 points for it instead of 15,000.
Right.
This coming cycle, if I hit a 63 with my Saturns, am I going to get the 15,000, or am I going to get the 7,500?
I have no idea. I mean, I would sort of makes sense that you would do it, because you could go ahead and hit the 80 target, right?
Yeah, but if they do the hit down penalty, I might as well scrap my Saturns, because I can only hit one target for full points with it. I mean, some people still don't have a full fleet of the assault ship, and they get a hit down penalty because they're hitting the only thing they can.
Well, now they all have a set of Proto Apollos. So with some refits and some work, they'll be able to hit those small targets with those ships and shouldn't get that hit down penalty.
Yeah, but to me that makes it a joke having the top fleet for the last cycle and only being able to use it in one set of targets for the next cycle.
But are you going to spend your time hitting the lower targets with your Saturns when you can hit the upper targets better? Get more points.
Mm-hmm.
I did a test.
Mike will, but
I will, because it's less damage.
I did a test. It was quicker by 5 minutes per target for me to do a 60 over an 80. So
I mean, it is annoying, but that I got that sort of calculation recently for a raid as well. Like the full time to do the B set targets, like to actually do them, just a little less. Sometimes much less. So you do have to take into account physically doing the target. I didn't test that on this last cycle because I hate this last cycle and it can burn in every hell that you could ever conceive of. Pick your deity. But yeah, I think it was a siege cycle or something where it's like, yeah, it's just faster for me to do this. I'm getting a penalty. I don't care. I get more theoretical points per hour and I don't have to give a heck except until the Eradicator would get caught on a piece of geometry or something because it was special.
I mean, me, I will hit a lower target if I can hit them faster and gain more points than hitting the higher target that takes a lot longer. The points per hour balances out and a hell of a lot less damage.
I haven't ever tried it with like 60s versus 80s because I'll do anything I can to hit the S set and get the big bonus, and that even if that means I get more damage and I have to walk away for 4 hours, I'd rather.
But you have less time, though.
I do have less time.
If I have the time, I would rather continue playing, getting a little less each one, but no damage or a lot less damage. And just since I'm going to sit here anyway,
Right.
I might as well be playing instead of waiting for the stupid thing to repair.
See,
and I don't want to coin the stupid thing.
So
well, that's because of you have a time difference.
Yeah.
If you had all the time in the world and you were just sitting here watching TV or something and playing the game, you might have a different opinion about it. I don't know.
I'm sure I probably would. You're right. My time is limited.
Yeah, mine's not.
I have to make choices where my time's going to go, and I don't have the time to grind, and my schedule doesn't always fit into Kix's schedule when it comes to events.
Yep. I guarantee you, if I had the same situation as you did, I would be doing the same thing as you are.
Yeah. So
guaranteed.
That's what I'll be doing Sunday. It's probably hit a VXP target while it's repairing. I'll go mow the grass.
Mm-hmm. I'm all about trying to save damage. So if I have to get less points but takes longer to save damage, that's what I try to do.
And I try to save coin.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to balance it, whether I'm slow repairing or if I'm coining, I have to have value for my coin. So
I don't want a coin because
I don't either, but
can't afford
I have to. Yeah, I can't either. I don't make the same salary they make in San Francisco.
Right. Social Security doesn't pay too much for Kixeye.
Yep.
But that's a horse of a different color. So.
I blitzed my first raid in 8 years because I was in Canada and couldn't play.
There you go. Well, there's a reason, right?
How'd you like that $25 offer then, just a bit after the raid, where it's like, yeah, you didn't even have to do this raid.
Yeah, that was an insult. But
it was cheaper for you to blitz than to buy it, right?
16 versus 25.
Barely.
Yeah. Barely. And that was only because I did some raiding the first night before I left. If I had blitzed it enough to get everything, it would have been more expensive than that offer.
Right.
And that would have been really insulting.
Counting the build time, you needed perfect play, and then it was like barely cheaper. I did the math on the Wednesday show, but it's just like, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What kind of game is it going to be when you can just blitz it and call it a day?
Well,
Is it not already?
I guess it is for some that way already.
Okay, yeah, but it's always been out of my price range to blitz an entire thing. But I think it was a bug. I only had to pay the 2 coins max minimum for no matter how much damage I took. Like, remember when most of the blitzes, the more damage you take, the more expensive it is for the multiplier.
Right.
And it didn't matter if I was almost dead or it took 5 minutes damage, it was 2 coins.
That's cool, and that's how it should be.
Well, yeah, except why did I build this fleet? I just needed to build a
Right.
fleet good enough to be able to conquer one target, and I've got enough to spend $16 and be done. Of course, what kind of game is that?
And how do you know that's going to be that way every time?
Yeah. But somebody told me that's common now, that the 2 coin minimum is also the maximum. And I don't remember that transition. No wonder it was so many people are getting on the top of the leaderboard in 10 minutes. They're just clicking that button a few times.
Right.
That's like 8 coin each. That's different.
Yeah.
That's just how valuable is your time.
Yeah. Well, it's
it's
way more than that, at least in my opinion, because some of those people are getting points that extend way beyond what they could buy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not how valuable time is, it's something else.
How much you want to thump your chest.
Yeah, and whatever else is going on, They we talked about the fact that they increased the limit to only 100 level bases could gift gold to other players because of chargeback issues. Sometimes I don't really know what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to just say it, or are we just gonna dance?
Well, I've already said it before. I just don't know how many times I'm going to say it. But yeah, when they made that change, yeah,
You're being nice, and I can be not nice.
Either way, whatever you want to say.
I want to hear Brian say it.
I mean, okay, hacks, coin generators.
No. I don't think that's it.
You don't think that's it?
I think it's the reason they raised the limit to a 100 level base, even though that was short sighted and wasn't really somebody playing the game to quite understand how easy it is to get a base up to level 100. Was there was people that were creating newbie bases, and then they would gift all this gold to all their friends or whoever. I'm not even sure how that economy works. And then they would charge back all that money on their credit card. And then that base would get banned. But all the players that received all these gold gifts got to keep them.
Oh, that just
evil.
That seems like a failure in what is essentially forensic accounting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they can follow that coin trail really easily.
They should be able to follow that coin trail really easily. I mean, unless that gold was... The problem is that gold is probably spent before they could get it charged back. Oh, you got 5K gold illicitly. Well, I blew it all and I'm at 200. What are you going to do about it?
And what would you do to stop people that... Okay, so if you accepted the gold, would you get banned?
Wait. The problem is you don't have the choice. You don't have the choice to accept it. It just shows up.
So if the people that got the gold got banned or got in trouble for it, what's who to say that they asked for it or wanted anything to do with it?
Yeah, no, but I don't think that's what Brian or Jeff is talking about. Why don't we just take that gold and pretend like it never happened?
Yeah, if it gets charged back, it should.
And if it buys prizes like before they get a chance to grab it, then that's a little more difficult in the query, but just as easy to take back.
Well, except for what happens to the chargeback happens 25 days later.
Yeah, like there's plenty of time for this to be abused.
Yeah,
this is just like Bitcoin. I mean, every coin is trackable. It's just more difficult.
But what I'm saying is, okay, let's say that the gift happens, and then days later, the gift, that is charged, that becomes a credit card chargeback. In that 25 days, most likely that coin's been spent, right?
Yeah, but you can know what it got spent on and take that back too.
But then if it's mixed in with other coins and whatnot, like the player's real coins, it becomes problematic.
Yeah. You have to have a priority on the coins.
You'd need like separate. You need like this is your gift coins. Like what's the game I play? Warframe. The free platinum, the starting platinum that you get, you cannot trade it. Platinum is their permanent or their real money currency. So like you get 75 platinum at the start of the game, and you get 50 on occasion through stuff. Or if you get like a giveaway gift from the company themselves, you can't trade that. So that's a way to prevent that sort of thing. But that doesn't happen in PP. It's all one and the same.
And also, if you do the reporting, almost certainly that the people receiving it are spending only those coins. They're not like, oh, I'm a little coiner, but then I get these big ones as well. They're probably over half of them are probably only spending the magic coins, because why would they spend their own money if they've got this magic coin source?
But how do we know what's spent on what? That's the thing. Is our coin spent first, or is the gift coin spent first?
Well, my point is, I bet a majority of the accounts, the coins they spend in the account that's receiving it is probably zero. Like, so it's all gift coins. And then I'll bet that's 50% of the big recipients. You could at least get them out of the picture, because if they've never bought any coins and all they did was receive gift coins, that's traceable too.
Yeah.
No, I'm just imagining where, how you have to pay $50 to send in a support ticket? What if you had to pay money to be able to receive gifts? Oh God. Oh no. Oh, it's a travesty.
Yeah.
But the best way to do it is have platinum and gold coins, like you were alluding to, which is the gift coins are in a different bucket.
Well, and Lewis brings up a pretty good point. They have the limited time offer come in both the gold and the cash variety, and I'm wondering if it's sort of related to his point. If if one of the reasons they're requiring cash is because they might think your gold is dirty. If you understand what I mean. So that's why some of the bigger things require direct cash as opposed to gold laundering or whatever you want to call it.
You coined a new term, gold laundering.
Yes.
There are no 100s on the map.
Okay.
Just PSA.
Okay. Well, did you use the locator? Because the locator's never worked.
I am scanning the map now.
Okay. Just letting you know that the locator is
60s are everywhere, but there's no 100s that I can see.
Okay.
I'm going to try the locator and just see if it works. You just told me it
Then
doesn't.
the locator has never worked because they've sort of changed it for some unknown reason. Before the VXP, the big VXP targets were next to the relay tower, and now they're next to the SSRBs. And so once that happened, that locator has stopped working.
I found one.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's been times in one sector or one area of the sector has it, and then you go to another tower, and you're right, they're not near the towers anymore, but they're not spread evenly for sure.
Yeah.
So go to the bottom and then charge them when they come at you.
Yeah.
Okay.
The main thing is to make sure that you're using their speed and their
against
them coming towards you, in order to close that space as quickly as possible.
Okay.
I mean, because you don't have an engine. If you had an engine, you could go and attack them from the back and only have to deal with one ship at a time. So, you're much better off with an engine and speed in this instance, because you could be much more selective in what you hit.
My Praetorian's much faster than the silverfish too, by a factor of about 2 probably.
Okay. All right. So do we have much else? We've gone over the hour. I posted the link. Is there much else that we need to talk about on the live show? Or should we just wait and see what pops up?
So should I talk about loot boxes? Time.
Do not.
Did you say?
Girl, I will go on for another hour myself about this.
Yeah, y'all. We will save it for another time or for the after show. But if you haven't heard the new term, surprise mechanics, then go Google it along with EA and learn about loot boxes being surprise mechanics.
Their marketing, not even a.
Based on Wednesday's show, I thought you kept on saying loot boxes. LUPE. So
their marketing not even a month ago called things loot boxes when they said we're not including loot boxes, and now it's blah blah blah. Now it's surprise mechanics. Thanks for lying to EU Parliament, EA, you fucks.
Yes. I don't know. I have not heard anything. RBF is asking me if we've seen it as far as should we expect sync engines. I would hope so. I would expect those to pop out and pillage, but again, I am just guessing. They don't tell me crap.
Yeah. We don't know if you're gonna increase the the number we can own either.
Well, the new ones. She's more interested in. Are we going to get a concussive one? Something like that. I don't. I have no idea.
Can we get an explosive one, please?
Yeah. I mean, are we going to get new flavors for these? Because like I showed as far as what was on Discord, we haven't really got any good information as far as what are these 2 armor offerings our only ones, and then we had that little thing from Corbin, which we're like, maybe there's something else that's going to sneak out. I would seriously doubt it's going to be next week. I would expect to see the next increase in technology associated with your silverfish to occur in pillage, but I could be wrong again. I was wrong with several other things, so I'm willing to believe that I could be wrong with this one because I was wrong with the what happened with the Manicore. So
well, you weren't wrong. You just didn't know.
Well, I was wrong though. I mean, what happened? I was wrong. It wasn't like I had any previous knowledge. I was still wrong on it. So.
Well, when you're guessing and looking at the crystal ball, it doesn't always work. So.
Yeah.
We don't
Can
like
you hear me all right?
Wrong.
What?
Can you hear me okay?
Hey, how are you doing?
Hi, Phil. How are you?
You got me. I don't know if you'll be able to understand me or not.
I can understand you, even with that English accent.
I was a bit worried about that.
Don't worry about it, mate.
At least if we get the armor in this pillage, we're probably going to have time to put it on if they're reducing it by that much. And there's only 4 armor slots on these.
Yeah. And, like we talked about on Wednesday's show, my plan would be we're probably also going to get the flagship at that point. That the combination of, I don't see a reason to put the hydrofoil on anything besides one of your normal silverfish and the steel plate silverfish because of the evade issue, and figure out which random ship it, they're going to hit 1 in 5 again or whatnot, and you can move it around. But there's no other reason to have that much evade. So we'll see how that works out. I could be wrong on that one. So, but yeah, that's my plan at this point. And I'm also waiting to I'm waiting to put armor on as long as possible, and putting on I'm putting some rockets on, not on all the ships, because because I'm wondering if some of the ships should be, I should have one ship that's a countermeasure ship, and you use a countermeasure special on that one, while I can use a damage special on the others. That's one thing I'm looking at. But again, we don't have a lot of information, and we don't have a good, reputable track record with these guys as far as what they're doing. So.
Here's one for Ben. On the raid, the new ships we got free. They put Apollo things.
Mm-hmm. The protopolos, yeah.
Well, I found during the 60s, I didn't get no knockdown. All the full points.
No hit down.
Yeah.
60s with the Apollo. So, but it was doing it with the Saturns that you got the points reduced.
I had about 13, 14 minutes of damage, so I had to go back to the depot and
heal her up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ben was asking about that earlier, I think, as far as what we should expect there. And, we don't have any idea as far as what we might see in the future. So.
Well, I was hitting the 40s before I got that.
Okay.
But if I would have got that full fleet at the beginning of the raid, I would have had loads of points. But it was that I only got about 700,000, a million, I think, or 1,000, whatever it is.
Yeah, I want to respond to something Lewis is saying. I would love to see that ticket. If you can post it on, one of the pages that says that it's priority targeting that's causing this to happen. I would be fascinated to see that, because priority targeting makes no sense whatsoever in this situation, because priority targeting hits the ship with the least health or the most damage, depending on how they have priority targeting working at this point. But all these ships are equally equipped. So priority targeting, as we know it, doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So, all right. Well, I guess we're gonna end the live broadcast. Link is still out there in case anybody would like to join.
Oh, he's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still live.
You're on the live show.
Damn it.
Now the ex-wife is going to come find you now. So, if Lewis, put it on the Battle Pirates script page. I would love to see that. I would love to see that ticket that said that, because that feels like a lot of misinformation that would come from customer support. That sounds more like something that was discussed on the forums than. But I would love to see it if it's true. So, all righty, everybody. Anybody have any parting words? I know Philip's not going to say much because he didn't realize he was supposed to. He was on the live show. So,
ban all.
I was going to tell you a joke. I'm not going to do that until after the joke.
Okay.
You can tell it in a minute. We're almost done.
All right. So nobody has any
no
parting words about how the way they're implementing updates at this point is the end of the game or anything like that?
Nope.
Okay.
I do have a question, actually. I have one question.
Yeah, go ahead, Elsie.
The Gorgon, the missiles, do they work off the OP gun or not? Someone said they did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's strange, because I just got hit while we were doing the show. Now, obviously, my OP gun goes further out than any other weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And the Gorgon didn't start firing until it got inside. The other ships got inside of another weapon.
But you were still within the 200, whatever the range is of the.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be working that way. I mean, things change update to update, so I can't
Yeah.
be certain that it still works that way. But that's the way that we were told by Kixeye and the moderators, that
Okay.
it works off of the weapons associated with your defense platforms, your portal, and your OP.
Okay. All right. Okay. Maybe it was a guy. I don't know. All right. Just
Okay.
have a check again. I'll have another look. Well, it's no use having another look because it was right in range. So
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. No worries. Thank you.
No problem. Alrighty. We'll see you all on Wednesday, if not before. And I hope you all have a good VXP weekend and your little midget event.
Nice.
Hey, sounds like fun.
Everybody.
Later, everybody.
All right.